Day 10 of the election petition hearing saw counsel for the third respondent, the NDC, Mr. Tsatsu Tsikata, continuing his cross-examination of the petitioner's star witness, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Issues that came up were why the NPP's polling agents did not protest in instances where people voted without biometric verification, as well as the duplication of exhibits by the petitioners. Another feature today was an application by an Amicus Curiae, Mr. Benomy Tony Amekudzi, a lawyer seeking to challenge why a sitting president has been sued, but his application was thrown out, a decision which was agreed upon by all counsels in the case.
Submissions are only legal and they are all in your brief, isn't it?
It is.
Yes. So are you relying on them?
I'm relying. Your Lordship, I'm relying on them.
You are not abandoning any of them?
I am never abandoning any of them.
Very well. So I think that's sufficient.
Thank you.
All right.
Grateful.
This is supposed to be an application for leave to file an Amicus Curiae brief.
An Amicus Curiae is a Latin expression which means a friend of the court. Mr. Benomy Tony Amekudzi, a lawyer this morning, said he had served all the parties in the election petition case a motion of notice to challenge the fact that a certain president can be sued. His application also sought to help the court to determine the legality of the matter, since it was a matter of public interest. But counsel for the petitioners, Mr. Philip Addison, was the first to object, saying that the application was partisan in nature, as an Amicus Curiae cannot take sides in a case. Moreover, he said the president already had a counsel to represent him in court. Counsel for President John Mahama, Mr. Tony Letha, also added his voice, calling for the application to be dismissed, as Mr. Amekudzi did not follow the right procedure by not filing an affidavit in that respect. Counsel for the EC, Mr. James Kwashi Aidan, and the NDC, Mr. Tsatsu Tsikata, also were in agreement for the application by the Amicus Curiae to be thrown out. By a unanimous decision, Presiding Judge Justice William Atuguba announced the decision of the bench to throw out Mr. Amekudzi's application. This is the first time that counsel for all the parties in the 2012 election petition case have agreed on something since hearing began. Using 101 pink sheet today, Mr. Tsatsu Tsikata's cross-examination of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia centered on the duplication of the same exhibit, which have been labeled as different exhibits by the petitioners, of which Dr. Bawumia explained that though the exhibits were in duplicate, they had been used once in the analysis on the face of the pink sheet. Mr. Tsikata also suggested to Dr. Bawumia that they deliberately duplicated their exhibit in order to back their claim of malpractices, irregularities and violations in 11,138 polling stations in the 2012 polls and to deceive the court. But Dr. Bawumia did not agree with this assertion. Counsel for the NPP and the NDC spoke to the media after the day's proceedings.
Very satisfied, except that I'm not comfortable with the mode of the trial, because the same questions are being asked, the same complaints, or as they seem to create the impression that they have problems with the pink sheets. You get 66, then you get another 100, then you get, if the same problems are alleged, one would have thought that you put them all together.
Because of the nature of the trial, it's an affidavit trial, the petitioners only put their papers together, their claims together, and they dumped it on us and on the court. Now, the burden clearly is on us to unravel the content of the so-called 11,138 pink sheets which they claim they have a problem with. You understand? So we have to go pink sheet by pink sheet to show, and that's what we're doing, to demonstrate that the aggregate figure of 11,138 is a sham.
Justice William Atuguba, in adjourning hearing to Monday, 6th May 2013, also implored the parties to report ahead of time on Monday before proceedings begin. This is to enable them to compile their exhibits into batches instead of tendering them in evidence piecemeal to speed up proceedings. Fanny Nana Ampon, GTV News, Accra.